All right.
We'll give people some time to get in here.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm just getting some shit cleared up.
All good. I will be right back. Gonna run to the restroom while we get people in here.
All right. I'm going to get started in 1 second, just allowing some people to get in here and allowing Josh to get back as well. What's going on, Rich?
Oh.
Share my screen.
Okay, we got some people in here.
Do we? I'm on my chart, so I can't even see.
Oh, it's because I hadn't enabled it yet. You should be able to see your screen now. Yeah.
Boom, boom. Oops. All right, so you want to give people a few more minutes, get in here?
Yeah, we can give it like 1 minute. If anybody has any requests for charts or anything, hit them in the comments and we will swing around to them.
Yeah, post if you have a particular pair that you want me to cover, and what question you have.
Hit them in the comments and we will.
Oh, can't do that.
Yes, we will. How do I mute this? All right, here we go. Here we go. All right.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm just pulling up the stream in a couple different places real quick so I can monitor the chat a little bit easier.
Yeah, I have your Facebook chat pulled up.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Good evening, my friends. This is Orion and I's public webinar we do once a week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk trade.
Yeah, I was just typing something in the Facebook chat really quick because I don't see any requests. Are there any requests in the YouTube?
Nope.
No requests in the YouTube. All right, so what I'll do, I will get started with Euro Yen. Just so you guys know, Josh and I are doing this, for you guys. Obviously, we know how to trade. So when you do come to the webinar, try to have questions. Don't feel stupid for asking a question, even if it's as simple as, what is support and resistance? Like, that's what we're here for. So definitely bring questions, because these webinars are only going to go as long as the questions are rolling in, because if we don't have questions, we don't really have a direction to go in, So I'm going to do a top-down analysis on Euro Yen. showing you guys what I would do before I get into a trade and what I recommend you do when you're looking for trades. So first and foremost, Euro Yen isn't a pair that I trade often at all. Like I think I've maybe in my entire trade career taken maybe 10 or 15 trades on Euro Yen. But this past week, with the way GU has been acting, I'm in search of a secondary pair. My primary pair is GJ, so I figured since I'm trading 1 yen pair, why not, look into another one. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to do a top-down analysis, figure out the overall trend, and then from there decide whether I'm looking for buys or sells in the market. And if while I'm going through this, you need me to stop and cover something again, just let me know. All right, so first and foremost, we can see that on the monthly time frame, we are forming higher low points and levels of support, which is indicative of a bullish market. See these higher lows forming here. Delete that one. Levels of support being formed. All right. Now, we also do have a trend line that we can draw to the downside, but I'm going to do that on the weekly just because it's going to look a little bit better. So on the weekly time frame, we have, or had, I should say, this trend line from this point to this point, and we can see right now price has broken out of that trend line. Also, we can see that price is maintaining these higher low points on the weekly time frame as well, which means that there's more buyers in the market than sellers. Whoops, let me do that. Now, as far as support and resistance is concerned, we need to validate, what levels are being broken prior to dropping down to the lower time frame. So based on the weekly, let's see here, 127. Typically, you'll realize that round numbers wind up being key levels of support or resistance in the market. So right now, this weekly candle is trying to close above a major key level. All right, let's drop into the daily time frame, see what the daily is doing. Daily time frame respecting this level as support was resistance. Now turn support. Let's drop into the 4 hour. So pretty much what I'm doing is from top down, I'm confirming that I'm seeing the same trend from the monthly down to the weekly, to the daily, to the 4 hour. So as long as that trend is being maintained, I know I'm looking for buys. So let's delete that trend line, keep our chart clean. And keep in mind, this is just me looking at what structure is doing and support and resistance. So we do have a 4 hour trend line here. One sec. Any questions popping up on YouTube, or are we good?
Nope. They said they want to see AU next, but we'll get through this first.
That's fine. All right. So yeah, we have that trend line as well on the 4 hour. Higher low points being formed. More buyers in the market. Higher low point here. So now from this point, what I'd be doing, 1 second. All right. So now what I'd be doing at this point is I wouldn't be necessarily entering right here. Had I been watching the move, we could have gotten an entry down here, but I'll explain what you should be looking for next before another entry. So we can see on the 1 hour, we broke this level of resistance here on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour was downtrending, right? So if the 1 hour is downtrending and the 30-minute is downtrending, that means that we're not looking for buys as of yet. Even though the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly are all bullish and we're seeing higher lows formed, the lower time frames are not ready to move back to the upside yet because it's maintaining downtrend structure, right? So now what you're waiting for to get your entry is the break of downtrend structure, which is here, and then price to form another higher low before going in for your entry. So we can see we broke structure, creating a new high here, and then we formed a higher low here. If we pull out our fib, point A to point B, let's pretend none of this happened. Boom. So if we were in live market situation here, we would see that we broke above this level, creating a new high. We're going to draw our fib from point A to point B. And then we're going to measure the retracement to see how far price retraces before finding support. Now, also we see that we have this minor level of resistance here that had formed. We drop into lower time frame, 15-minute, probably see it better. Yep. So on the 15-minute, we can see that price formed resistance here, broke above, and now we're expecting price to retest it as support before continuing higher. Because in order for price to trend, we have to form higher highs and higher lows. And vice versa. In order for price to trend downwards, we need to create lower lows and lower highs, retesting previous levels. All right, so what I'd be looking for now for an entry is price to find support here, and then either consolidate, give me an engulfing candle, some type of variation that shows me price is ready to go back to the upside. Now, I wouldn't be entering on this based on this candle. Let's see what the next candle does. I wouldn't be entering on that because it's kind of in consolidation. Probably have to drop into the 5 minutes to get a clean entry. Wouldn't be entering yet. I still personally wouldn't be entering yet. See what 15 minutes doing. Okay, so 15-minute broke this level. The reason why I wouldn't have entered in here was due to the consolidation. None of this was telling me that price was ready to push to the upside. Even when we look at the 5-minute, price was kind of choppy in here. We had this bearish engulfing. And then when you look at these candles, it was throwing exhaustion wicks to the upside. So realistically, I wouldn't have felt comfortable taking that position. So we're going to wait. Okay, we got a pullback. Boom. Now we can enter. Nice bullish candle. My stop loss personally is going to be below structure overall. And then my target, let's go to the 1 hour. Delete. One sec. Delete that. And this situation, you can tighten up your stop a little bit. And then upside target would be 128. Now, this isn't an optimal entry point. I actually called a signal on it earlier in the free Telegram room, but the signal was from down. Actually, hold on one second. Let me check. Free signal. It was 127,600. So I guess actually that was the entry. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that was the entry from this morning. 127,600 and stop loss was 127,200. So that's what you want to wait for. You want to wait to see price turn on all time frames. So now the 4 hour, the daily, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, and the 30 minute are all matching. Oops. And technically, since the daily is overall bullish, we could push into 129. Let's go into the weekly. See what 129 looks like. That is a level of resistance. Boom. Daily. One sec. Etc. Yeah. So we could see price push into that 129 area based on the daily time frame. Does that make sense? I said stop losses so they don't get stomped out. As far as your stop loss goes, Justin, you want to have your stop loss below structure. So that's why it's good to wait for price to find support, consolidate a little bit, and then break lower time frame structure back in your favor so that you can place your stop loss below this level confidently without worrying about it retracing steeper. Now, obviously, there are going to be times where, news may come out or, just weird situations where the market is manipulated and whatever, and you do get that spike down and you get stopped out. As long as price doesn't break structure on the 4 hour time frame, you're still looking for buys to the upside. So in this situation, let me go back a little bit. All right, so that was that higher low. Okay, yeah, so in this situation, until 120, pretty much 126, until 126 is broken, you're looking for buys. Because that's the break of structure on the 4 hour. This was the most recent higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The reason why this isn't considered a higher high is because it didn't take out that high. This high didn't take out that high. This high did, but it didn't form what I would consider a higher low. So this would have been the next high before the major higher low pullback.
We had a question. How do you calculate your stop losses so that they don't get stomped out? You have a particular method?
Essentially, it depends. If I'm using buy limits, my typical stop loss is 50 pips. But if I'm manually entering the trade, then my stop loss is just going to be based on that entry time frame structure or my analysis time frame structure. So in this case, my analysis is based on daily and the 4 hour. So I need to make sure, since I'm swing trading, I need to make sure that my stop loss is below this higher low here, so that just in case price decides to retrace one more time into this region, do something like this before going up, at least I know my stop loss is below structure here. So if it breaks this level on the 1 hour, it's most likely going to break this trend line and retrace steeper on the 4 hour. So for example, based on the fib, we could see price push up, form a lower high, and then pull back into this 61.8 area, which would then stop you out here before pushing back up into 129. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be over excessive with your stop loss and like have it way down here, because it's like the risk to reward is just way off. Even if you have your stop loss here, it's kind of pointless, because if it breaks this level of support based on the 1 hour, it's most likely coming into this 61.8 level anyway. So you'd rather get out of the trade sooner so that if it does come into that level, you can get another entry. Your stop at that point would go below this level of structure, and then your target would still be that same upside. Make sense?
Yeah, that same guy asked how spread impacts stop losses. I mean, that's simply just your broker, man. You got to calculate the spread when you're placing your stop losses, because even if the chart shows that price didn't come down to hit your stop loss, it can still hit it if the spread encompassed it. Or so you got to calculate that in, and when you're setting your stop loss, keep the average spread in mind for the pair that you're using, and try to adjust for that. So if you want a 10 pip stop loss, but you have a 2 pip spread, then maybe you need to set it at 12 pips,
Right, exactly. So AU was the next one?
Yeah, gold and AU, if you have a preference. I figured we'd do AU and then jump to commodities, do gold and silver, and then maybe do 2 crypto, 2 stocks, something like that.
That works. That works. That works. All right, so AU, same thing. I don't trade this pair, so we're going to go top down. All right, so based on the monthly time frame, structure is a bit weird, but we can see that we were downtrending. We still, for me personally, this would be the break of that monthly structure, which it looks like is about to happen. So if we break above this level on the monthly and hold above that level, then I think we could see AU come back into 80 cents. But let's continue. Oh, yeah, wow. That looks really nice on the weekly. These candle formations here, a lot of buyers in the market. Whenever you see candles like this, these type of pin bars, that means that the buying pressure is extremely, extremely strong. Like, look at this. Pin bar, push up. Pin bar, push up. This candle had some nice exhaustion as well. So weekly already broke above that major level. So what I'd be looking for is my next weekly level, which, one sec, tighten that up. In this case, $78.5 is going to be a daily level, so we will call it 79 cents. Boom. Reason being, based on the wicks in this region over here, the support that was found here, and every time price broke above this level, it came back below, and then once it came back below, it kind of took off. Obviously, above that level, we do have another major resistance, like I said, around 80 cents. Above 80 cents, 81 cents looks like that major level of resistance for AU, but we're not anywhere near that right now, so you don't have to worry about that. Looking at the daily time frame really quick, we can see these weekly levels are being respected. Daily from yesterday closed with some exhaustion, but did get this kind of morning star formation here. AU structure is very, very weird. Also have this daily trend line that was broken here. Probably look better on the 4-hour or the 8-hour. 1 second. So you see what I'm doing. Essentially, as of now, my bias is bullish. The monthly is breaking major level. Weekly already broke this level. Daily already broke this level. We're forming higher low points, telling me that we're in an uptrend. You can see that we were temporarily downtrending. Why? Because we needed to form that higher low, probably 50 or 61.8. Boom, 61.8. So now look at the confluence that we just built. We know that this 79-cent area is our weekly level. We know that this 77-cent area is our monthly level. Let me adjust this. So that zone isn't so big. All right, so yeah, we know that this is our monthly level here as well. So when we drop into the 4-hour, and we can see that price broke down trend as well as the daily. Our upside target based on our fib is 79 cents. Our weekly level of resistance is 79 cents. Where do we think price is going to go? 79 cents. So now that we've broken out, damn, had a nice entry opportunity. So based on the 4-hour, we see that the 4-hour formed this higher low here as well. Formed a higher low here as well. It's forming higher highs. Pull out our 4-hour fib. We pulled back into the 78.6, rejected the 61.8, and now we found support at the 50. Damn, this is looking really good for a buy. Let me see. I don't like it based on the 1-hour. Looks like we can pull back a little bit. 1 second. Delete this trend line. AU is very choppy right now, but hold on. Higher high. Ideally, this would have been the entry down here. You could still enter it based on the 4-hour. Like, see, this is where you would have wanted to enter. You got this nice morning star formation here. Well, not necessarily a morning star, but you had this nice engulfing candle here off of that 78.6. And then right after that, look what you got. That pin bar. So that would have been the prime entry. Stop below that level of structure. So about 25 pips. And then target, what do we say, 78 cents? Yeah. So pretty much somewhere in here would be your target. Because see, if you enter now, it's like, okay, you could have your stop loss recommended would be at least below this level here. So you're risking 25 pips to maybe gain 36. And then if you tighten up your stop loss, this is kind of what Justin was asking earlier. It's like, yes, price could just push in your favor and not stop you out, but nothing stops price from coming back into this level to form another higher low before pushing into this level. So that's why it's better to have your stop loss below structure. And for me, I only enter at certain price points. So for me, it has to a psychological level for me to enter so that I can have my stop loss below the next psychological level.
And another thing, don't force trades, right? There's a lot of pairs out there that you can trade. If you're looking at this and you're like, okay, this would be a better entry, don't rush into an entry just because you're like, I'll throw some money at it. Like, wait for the ideal entry or move on to another pair that has an ideal entry. You don't have to trade this pair right now. You know, there's other pairs. Be patient with the market.
Exactly. And it's like you can see the 1 hour price is just choppy for the most part. You know, it's overall structure is choppy on, you know, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, but it's like you could make do, but like Josh said, it's like why force it? You know what I mean? Oh, actually, your upside target, sorry, my apologies. Technically your upside target is 79 cents. I was looking at the 1 hour 78-cent level. So technically your target is 79 cents based on what we just went over and based on the daily. So even if you were to enter the market now, yes, it makes your risk to reward a little bit better. Stop loss. Minimum stop loss I would do is like 38 pips on this, and then target. It's a 136 pip move, so it's still a 3 to 5 ratio. But what will happen most likely is price will push up, pull back anyway for the retest, find support before going into that level. So your entry could be somewhere here as well. Probably run a tighter stop because it finds support, and then still gain 111 pips. Because this 78-cent level is a psychological level. Time frame, 4 hour. Make sense?
I think we're good.
This is actually, one more thing. This is actually a good example of the whole FOMO thing. There is always a move going on in the market that you're missing.
Yep.
Like as you can see, if we didn't come to AU, that would have been a missed move. Euro yen, if you're not looking at that, you're missing a move. Me and my buddy were actually talking about another pair earlier, odd NZD, and it's like, mark this up, that's in profit. But guess what? I wasn't paying attention to it because you can't watch everything. It's like you really can't watch everything. And I was kind of doing like a one-on-one with him, and it's like I was telling him price was here, and I said price is going to pull back again before it goes. So I was expecting price to push up a little bit higher, but it pushed up, pulled back, and now it's going. You know, so it's really repetition. Everything is repetition. Shit, hold on. I think GJ is setting up. No, wait. So what is our next pair? Gold?
Gold.
All right. Delete this. Ha, that's funny. This was from our last webinar. Damn, that's crazy. That shit.
It's sent.
Wow. 600 pip move. That is insane. Okay, so I already have some technicals here. Let me just adjust.
I'm bearish on gold now overall.
Yeah.
I don't have a chart for it, but I'm bearish on gold overall. As I mean, you can clearly see it. We're breaking out of that zone that we've been in forever.
We've been paying for months 1750. Like that's why that level is highlighted. I personally think gold is coming into 1750. But this is the tricky thing with gold. So it formed this level of support here. All right. Well, actually, let's go into the weekly and the monthly. So based on the monthly time frame, obviously gold is overall bullish, but in a retracement phase now, right? Well, hold on. Took out these highs here. Took out the all-time wick of 1917. Created a new high at like 20,000, not 20,000, sorry, 2,076. And then started this downtrend, all right? Oh, shit. Oh, don't need that one. Started this downtrend. But you'll notice price tried to break this level, right? So it pushed up, formed an even top here, formed a double top, and then pulled back and started forming higher lows. Right, so we had these higher lows that formed here. Price maintained that level of support. But then also, while that level of support was being maintained, you had this head and shoulder that formed. It was like a complete mindfuck for me. So head, left shoulder, right shoulder. But typically with the head and shoulder, price breaks structure and creates a new low before forming the right shoulder, typically. Delete this. Oops, delete that. So even though I was seeing price form these lower highs in here, until this level of support was broken, I just wasn't convinced on it, right? But then we broke that level of support, and we had this trend line here. Point A, point B. Price respected that trend line. Let's go into the 4-hour. Sec. Oops. For 26 days, gold sat in a 457 pip range, right? For me as a swing trader, since my analysis is based on the daily and the weekly, when price starts to do this, my mind like gets flustered because I'm going solely based on structure and price. So if structure is forming support and then forming higher highs on the 4-hour, I'm expecting higher low points and a continuation. But look at what it was doing. So you had price break structure here, come back, form a higher low, push back up, pulled back again, form, well, what is now would be looked at as a lower low, but in retrospect, still a higher low based on this level here, higher low, pushes back up again. So you're thinking eventually we're going to hit our fib extension, right? Price forms another lower high, and then just absolutely melts. So for the person that is trading based on structure, it's like you don't know what to do with gold. So right now, what my predicament is with gold is, yes, we did break this trend line here, and I do feel like we're coming back into 1750, but I can't say I'm overall bearish because I feel like from 1750, we should bounce back to the upside based on daily structure, based on our daily fib. That puts us at a 78.6 retracement. So we should bounce from this level and eventually wind up at 2100, 2176 at some point. You see? Because this was the most recent higher low prior to price creating a new high. Price had no pullbacks, all within this region. So this was the new high. This was the most recent higher low. So essentially, we're looking at a big swing before the push to the upside. Because the dollar is weak. So if the dollar is weak, how can gold also be weak when it's a safe haven? See what I'm saying? Look at this. This is the dollar on the weekly. So what could be happening is a retracement on the dollar back into these regions here. Potentially. Pull back. And then a push back down lower, which would then in turn send gold higher. Let's see monthly levels. Based on the monthly, yeah, so if the dollar maintains this level of support, then we're in for a very weird year with as far as commodities go. Because if it maintains this level of support, obviously it can push to the upside, which would somewhat invalidate the daily fib and could push price back into these levels, 1680 to form a monthly higher low. It really depends. Like, I can't really say right now, to be completely honest with you, because based on your monthly fib, it's like price could come back into 1500. High could come back into 1500 and then go into 2300. So got to take it as it comes with gold. That's why I personally haven't been touching it. There are some good intraday moves there, but for me, I like to swing the move. So if I can't find a nice swing that I'm confident in, then I'm not going to take it, because I wouldn't have swung this. Well, I could have swung this into support, but from here, I wouldn't have been taking any sells personally. Just based on the simple fact that even if you delete that, you have this level of support here.
I know.
What are we covering next? Silver. Silver actually looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, silver, in my opinion, is looking better than gold right now.
I agree.
It's respecting this upward channel. Retracing right now, but retrace into this level based on fib. We're around the 61.8 level right now. Upside potential, $31 an ounce. So silver is looking really good right now. And that's based on daily time frame. 4 hour gets a little choppy, but you see the opposite of what you're seeing on gold. You're seeing silver trend upwards and you're seeing gold trend downwards. Which is
silly amounts of silver.
Huh?
So I'm buying silly amounts of silver.
Yeah, that's very strange, actually, now that I look at that. You would think they would kind of both be going the same way.
It's because the ratio, the historic ratio between silver and gold is so screwy right now. And gold needs to come down in price and silver needs to go up in price for it to rebalance. That's probably what it, like, that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, that, because this is I don't think I've ever seen this where, let me see, this is February, March 2018. Oops, too far. February. Yeah, it's like gold was kind of moving sideways at that point, whereas silver was trending downwards at that point. So yeah, you don't see this often. So yeah, buy your silver, people. Hit up JP about the silver. He is the silver guy.
The silver guy. You're the
Um,
gold guy though, so that's like better, you know.
I mean, I used to call myself that until I let her fall to the wayside. She like literally, I just don't mess with U.S. pairs anymore. They give me anxiety.
Yeah,
Uh,
USD is crazy.
yeah, Justin asked, "How do I draw my fib?" That's a deeper topic, but the basics of it, I'm pretty much going in an uptrend. I'm going from higher low to higher high. In a downtrend, I'm going from lower high to lower low. Looking at questions on the Facebook chat.
I'll be right back. My dog is about to kill himself, so give me
Yeah, you do that. I am going to hop into some stocks. Actually, cover some crypto really quick. Any crypto request? Stop sharing really quick. Go. Any crypto request at all? BTC. No crypto requests. All right. Well, okay. BTH. I don't think I've ever heard of BTH. Yeah, Cardano's in profit. What is VTH? Never heard of that. Justin. What's Josh? You know what VTH is for a crypto?
VTH.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant VTHO.
VThor might be what he's trying to say, which is like it's tied to VeChain. VThor is like the utility token for it. Is that what you mean, Justin? VThor? I can look that up though. VTho. I don't know. All right.
No. I'm looking at it right now based on Tether. Is this what you're talking about, Justin? Let's see. I mean, I can analyze this. I don't know much about it, but
yeah,
based on technicals, we've already tested this level here.
Oh, okay. So it is VThor. He just said. I just didn't know I didn't know that was the abbreviation for it, but I know I'm familiar with VThor. It is like you said there. It's the token for the VET network, the VeChain network.
Interesting. Well, right now, it formed a nice level of support here on the 4-hour. It's looking kind of bearish though.
It pumped when VET pumped.
Yeah. I got in on the VET pump. But it looks like if we break this level of support, I'd be looking for more downside. Obviously to invest more. Is VThor on crypto.com?
I doubt it. It's like a 2-token system, VET and VThor, but I think you can stake VThor by staking vet. Like you can earn VThor by staking vet. So I don't think I'd buy VThor. I would just buy vet and stake it.
Gotcha. Boom. So I'm gonna buy some more vet and stake her up. But yeah, based on the lower highs that are forming right now on the 4 hour, the daily's looking pretty bearish. If daily closes below this level, then yeah, some pretty clean traffic here. I feel like we could come back into these levels down here based on the 4 hour. And then if we find support there, I think we could bounce and potentially create new highs from there. But structure looks really good on it. Any other requests, or do you want to cover like 2 stocks real quick, Josh, and then we?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
Is there anything in particular? Oh, just saw the make.
Yes.
Exception.
Let me know when you start sharing. Oh, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, hold on.
And I'll keep an eye on the chat.
All right, sounds good, my dude. I keep getting questions about Palantir.
All right.
So it's been kind of bloody for Palantir recently, but I am buying up these levels because I'm definitely still long overall on this. Looks like so we're like right at the 88.6. This is kind of the area I was thinking we were going to drop down into again. This company has a lot of strong fundamentals. The market in general has just kind of been crashing the last few days, honestly, for most, at least a lot of my positions.
Yeah, a lot of the stocks that I'm in as well have been dipping pretty low, but I'm just dollar cost averaging the dips.
Yeah, the quality projects like this, I'm just picking up more in these liquidity zones. And, you know, we had a breakout from this here. And, you know, broke down, it kind of retested a little bit and then moved sideways. And then we had this big bump up and
Justin said, what chart is that?
What is what?
What he said, what chart is that?
PLTR, it's Palantir Tech. They do a lot with like they have a lot of government contracts. They work with the NSA and stuff like that. So I'm pretty bullish on them with the Biden administration. My first entry was around $8 down here. Right here, actually. So it's exploded since then, but this is a big company with a lot of government contracts. So I'm very bullish on them in general. If I were to do like an extension type situation, I mean, I think, yeah, this is where my target was. Like the 1618 is like where I'll probably take some profit on it. I typically do 100% on my stocks unless it's a company like this where I'm like super bullish on them fundamentally, and then I will go for a little bit more. But this I think is a good zone. I don't expect it to drop much lower than this. If you can get it around 22, because if you drop down to like a lower time frame, you can see you might be able to catch some wicks down in this area. So if you can catch some wicks like in this area, that would be an ideal entry. So that's like 22.50 to 23-ish. I think there's a pretty good chance this just turns around tomorrow and starts going back up. So
That's what it looks like.
You know, take whatever risk you want with that with your limit orders. I mean, maybe buy some in this area and then have a limit order set lower to add to it a little bit, just in case a wick flies down into this area. But overall, I think we're going to definitely make a pretty bullish move up out of this zone, and from there, we'll obviously be looking at a little bit of resistance around this 31 area, but I don't think it's going to be too much an issue based on the fundamentals. I think it's probably going to continue back up to make a new high, or at least retest these previous highs around 38.40. So yeah, this should be a relatively easy 100% ROI if you're getting entries around 2022. And if you're like me and you're trying to hold it like longer term, with a lot of my stock positions, I try to hold them more than a year for the tax benefits. So I try to get into companies that I have positive fundamental outlook on. So for that, I'm not going to sell it here. But if you could flip it for almost 100% ROI here, wait and try to exit around 61-ish. And by that time, it'll probably be a year since I've held it. I picked it up back in October. So I need to make it to November of 21. So it just depends on how this moves, and we could blow past this level and go to like a next fib. My fundamental target on this is around $100. Like that's based on their actual valuation, I think, where they fit into the market. So, but yeah, PLTR, I've been getting a lot of questions on this one. So I think it's in a pretty good spot. Is there any other stocks that you had in mind, Orion?
Affirm. If you want to pull up Affirm really quick.
You bought.
Yeah, I actually bought more today.
Oh, this doesn't look bad.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So we obviously do not have a lot of market data here, but the fact that it's such a strong uptrend, like there's a lot of technical reason to get in here.
Boom.
So
same I drew.
And this looks like, and again, you got to kind of take this with a grain of salt because there's not a lot of market data to go off of, but this looks like a channel in the making, and this is confluence for me. When you have these legs come up and hit the median and then come down, every time you touch the median of a channel, you're establishing this channel. So the fact that this measures out to where this wick came up and hit the median zone before going back down, that tells me that this has a strong up channel going here. So if I were to enter here, you might find some resistance here. Maybe it jumps around a little bit, does this kind of number. But until this breaks this channel, we don't really have any reason to think that this isn't going to go up, especially with Affirm having such strong fundamentals. Exactly. So I think that this is a good buy right now. I'm actually going to pick some up tomorrow.
Yeah, boy. Dude, I think it's gonna be great, man.
It's really clean.
Travis asked me what my target for Loopring is short term. To be honest, I plan on holding Loopring. I mean, my short term target would be $1, but I plan on holding it past that. Because
bananas.
Yeah, our first buy-in was 25 cents. So we bought in at 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, and now 75 cents. So I don't plan on doing another buy until price breaks $1 and then retraces back into the 85 to 90 cent region. Then I'll add some more. But for now, I'm just holding. I'm kind of with Josh. I'm kind of scared to sell my crypto right now.
Yeah, it's not a seller's market right now.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a Head and Shoulders that wants to form.
Potentially, yeah. What is that? Oh, Loopring Tether.
Yeah, I just pulled up Loopring while you were talking about it. Just I don't have any Loopring, but I probably
pull up. Type in LRC USD really quick. Coinbase, yeah. Yeah, so 4 hour did form that lower high there. So as long as price stays above like 70 cents, then I think we're good to continue higher.
I could see something like this playing out potentially.
Let's
And
see. Actually, even if we got to pull back into 60 cents, that would be great. Add more.
yeah,
See,
I kind of doubt that's gonna go that far down. It could though. I mean, there's major.
major resistance there.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about major support at this level.
I mean, yeah, support, sir.
So that move wouldn't be too bad. If it does this, you better tell me to buy it because I don't have any.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, man. Dude, I bought into Graph at 23 cents and it shot up to 287.
You got a better price than Truly. I got it at like 35, 40.
Yeah, we did 23, 26, like 35, 45, and then it like took off. And I was like, whoop, there goes that.
Yeah, my entry was it was this dip right here because
Yeah.
I missed it. I missed it on the first pump, so I got in when it pulled back to this fib around 40, and so I'm glad I did. Obviously, that was a very clean 618 touch.
Yeah, man, Graph did some serious returns. It was like over, I think I did like 600% in like 3 weeks.
Welcome to crypto.
I was like, dude, this is what.
No, Graph like fits really well into the ecosystem fundamentally too. So I'm really bullish on it overall. And I definitely am going to be looking for dips on this. This looks pretty good right now. So we'll have to just kind of see what plays out. But
Crazy? Like how I've been finding my cryptos to invest into is like I'll look on Coinbase or crypto.com and I look for the cheapest crypto that they have with actual utility. So at the time, I was looking at Graph and Loopring and I was like, all right, these are around, old XRP prices, 20 cents, 25 cents, whatever. That's not a bad price. Let me see what their utility is. And I noticed that they were ETH protocol coins. And I'm like, okay, ETH is going really well with Ethereum 2.0 coming out. This has to be a good investment. So I just went balls to the wall and I said, I'm investing in everything Ethereum. And so far, everything I've invested in Ethereum has hit 100% ROI plus.
Yep.
So Graph, Loopring, Civic, District 0x, obviously Ethereum, and I think there was one more. Can't remember. But all ETH coins, protocol coins.
I wanted to look at Simi real quick, but one of our webinars, I told you guys to buy when we had this support right here, and we've been doing okay with it. It's moving a little bit slower than I expected. I think our entry was, it was one of these dips, probably September, but because my cost basis on this is like $3 or $3.80 or $3.40 or something like that. So I think I caught like one of these dips, but it's been kind of a wild ride up and down. But we're obviously making higher highs, higher lows on on a daily, weekly time frame. So I feel pretty good about it. This, you can see the chart is, this is biotech, so it slingshots around a lot. But I'm fundamentally bullish on this. I'm going to hold it to about 12-ish, I think. Are there any other stock ones? I'm just kind of hitting them off as I think.
I think we're good for tonight, dude. I think we covered quite a bit. We don't want to, overdo it.
No, you're right. You're right. we get going, and I'm just
Yeah, exactly. Apple is something that I definitely want to cover next week, because I've been heavily vesting into Apple because of what's coming with Apple.
I caught this dip, and I
Yep.
added more, but
Me too.
since then, I added it like 104 or something, I think.
I think it can come back into like 120. I would really love it to come back into 120 so I can get some more.
Yeah.
And there's even a potential for it to come lower depending on what the stock market does, like back into that, back into that region right there. I would love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good buy right here.
Buy like 10 shares.
Yeah, that'd be a really good buy. But we'll see.
Yep.
I
appreciate you guys.
Yep. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And, obviously we are going to we're going to keep doing this every week. We're going to try to keep them at an hour. I think we went a little bit over, but when we get going, we get going. But yeah, just hang out with us. Same place every week. Facebook, YouTube. Come with questions. Come with chart requests. Tell your friends, family, pets. And we will see you next week, Thursday, 7:30 Eastern.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a great week.